Cracking, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. New video. First of all, I want to say thank you guys for getting the channel past 16,000 subs. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I know it's late. I released this late. Been taking care of some stuff. But today's video, we're going to do a video, another YA video. It seems like people like the YA stories. I think it's more of I think it's more of people are blown away by how like grotesque the California Youth Authority was. And I'm sure all youth prisons in all the states, or most of the states that had youth prisons, I'm sure that the stories that I say, the stories that I tell are not unique to California. It seems as though a lot of the prisons for kids in the United States were run by very, very sadistic people. Today I'm going to talk about somebody, an individual that showed up on our dorm. He wasn't Mexican. I just say that. I don't really want to say, you know, what he was. But so this dude shows up to our dorm, right? And there was a guy on the dorm with us that saw something in this guy, right? Immediately, he was like, that vato right there is a punk. I see it. And I'm like, how the fuck like how can you tell? Like the dude didn't come in swishing, didn't have no, you know, he wasn't no flamboyant ass, you know what I mean? Like how does this cat know? But he was like, watch, that dude's a punk. So he stayed on him. And you know, he was talking to him foul. Like, you know, you've done this and you know you've done that. You ain't fooling nobody, this and that. And that dude was like, man, fuck you. But he never took off, right? Didn't take off on this guy. And this was on a drug program, right? So backstory on this. So when I went to SRCC, one of my homeboys had been to SRC before me. He got there like a month before me. And he's like, I saw him. He was in Portola. I was in Cabrillo, right? And we used to go to yard at the same time. And he yells over to me. He's like, hey, fool, I know how you can work them so we can get out. You can get out earlier. I said, what? He goes, tell him you have a drug problem or you're an alcoholic, eh? I was like, fool, I'm not a fucking. He go, you don't. He goes, don't worry about that, fool. He goes, you go to the drug program and you can get out quick, homie, like 18 months. And I was like, all right. So I went and when I saw my counselor before you go to board to get endorsed, I told him, oh yeah, I have a bad drug problem, an alcohol problem, this and that. Got sent over there and he got kicked right out. Shit, yeah. I was a little bit too much for them. That's for programmers. But anyways, this is when I was there, right? And so that dude, okay, I'm gonna try to do it this way. The guy that said, hey, this vato's a punk, we're gonna call him C. And the alleged punk is R, right? So C is staying on R's bumper, right? Talking bad to him. And so, I don't know, a week went by or whatever, and R gets up. We're in morning group. So in the morning group, they would have the so-called drug counseling, drug and alcohol counseling in the day room, and they would leave the latrine unlocked, right? So if anybody had to use a bathroom, the staff wouldn't have to get up and walk over there. It's unlocked. Just go there and come back. So R gets up and he goes to the bathroom, right? Boom. No bullshit. 30 seconds or so later, I don't know the exact, you know, C gets up, head straight in there. And I'm like, this fucking vato right here, eh? So I'm like, they're going to get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have to box right now. That's what's going to happen. About 5 minutes later, I got to take a piss, right? So I get up. I walk to the fucking latrine. So when you walk into the latrine from the day room side, as soon as you step in front of you, you see 2 rows opposite of each other of sinks. On your right-hand side, there's a tall wall. There's mirrors above every sink. On the left-hand side, there isn't because there's a big square. And on the other side of that square, you have a row of shitters. Then you have a row of urinals. So I walk in. As soon as I walk in, I close the door. R gets up off of his knees and he tells C that he wanted to write it. Holy shit. I'm right there like, what? This ain't happening, right? Turns around, gave him that old reverse cowgirl. I got the fuck out of there. What? I go back to the day room and I sit down and I'm like, I whisper to one of the homies, hey, Holmes, you ain't gonna believe it. Go in the bathroom. He was like, nah, man, go to the bathroom right now. He goes. He comes back like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did he know? Like, the fuck is in that guy that he knew that guy was at, right? So, that same day, because this is morning group, right? In the morning. That same day, his locker got booted. Now, in YA and Paso, everybody had a locker in between their bunk and their neighbor. Every locker had a master lock on it. Padlock, right? The kind where you spin, you know, put the numbers. Well, if you spun it 0 and then back 0 and then forward again 0, and then you hit it with a boot, the lock would pop open. Sometimes it would break completely, right? You could still put it back together and lock it, but when somebody does a combo, the bottom part will just drop completely off, right? So that term, they booted his locker, just meant they broke into his locker. You know, they used the boot, they got in it. So he was stripped down. Everything in his locker that wasn't state was taken. That's what happens to Levas. So all of his stuff was taken, and you know, he came back, you know, went to his locker and everybody's laughing at him, and he's, hey, who took my stuff? Do you see the dog fucking trying to eat the plant back there? Anyways, he's trying to figure out, ain't nobody gonna tell him shit. Fuck him, you know? So I believe it was like 2 days later. 1, 2, 3. I don't remember exactly, but it was right after that. We were on the yard in the morning before breakfast, right? No. It was after lunch. We had just had lunch. On the way in, there was a white guy, right? This dude did have a serious drug problem. This dude was shermed out of the game. This guy, he was slow. I don't know. It seemed like he was on Thorazine or some shit, right? He was in front of me and a little bit to my left. R was about 4 or 5 feet in front of him. Everybody's heading back into the building because we're going to go on movement. To whoever has education in the afternoon, we're going to have to walk through the school area, the whole dorm, and these guys break off the movement and go into their classrooms and shit, right? So as we're going in, I see the white guy in front to the left of me, fat boy. He makes a move towards R, fast as his fat ass can go, right? And he screams Again, this dude was sure. I don't know why he screamed it, but he screams, Folsom! And he pulls something out, and boom, he hits R in the back with it a couple times, right? It was a pencil. Like, if he knew he was going to do it, and his homies that he was cool with knew he was going to do it, why not give him something? Like, we had picks, we had stuff in the dorms. Everybody pretty much did. Well, not every group, I think. I know the Raza, we did. Why didn't they give him something? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking now, you know, and I thought everybody at the time was like, what? He didn't go through no clothing. But he moved on R, right? And he got caught, obviously. They fought, and they both went to the box. And the fat guy wasn't allowed to return. I think they sent him to Cambridge, which is the shoe. But R comes back, right? And I believe it was like, I don't know the timeline exactly, how many days had passed. But R gets a package. Now, this was different. Look, let me tell you guys something. When you got a package, they would just give you your package, right? And you put it in your locker, or you take it out and set it up in your locker, however you wanted to do. But you got your whole package. For whatever reason, R got a package, and they decided to hold his package, and he had EPs. And so those of us that had EPs, those are the troublemakers. They write you up, and for a write-up, they'll say, we're giving you 3 EPs. 3 EPs means for 3 nights, you get no evening program, right? You have to sit on your bunk. You can't go nowhere. This fucker. I'm going to throw this fucker somewhere. Just plain. So, you know, you just on your bunk, you know, you can't get in and out of your locker. They give you one shot, get in your locker, get what you need, and then lock that fucking thing. And then at night, when everybody's going to go to sleep, when everybody comes in from their program, which is the yard and day room or whatever, you get one shot to open your locker. So anyways, R had EPs. So he's in there with the rest of us fuck ups, right? And the staff brings his chair out, and puts the package on it, wheels the package over to R's bunk, right? He's in front of his bunk. Takes the package, puts it on the bunk next to R, which is empty because that dude's out in day room or yard, whatever he's doing. And one by one, he's handing R the items. So R is grabbing them, and he's looking at the cop. He's grabbing the item, and he's putting it down like this. Well, as soon as he puts it down, the vato behind him over here grabs it and throws it to another homie. That homie throws it. His entire package was stolen from him in front of him, and the cop is just talking away to keep him occupied. I'm telling you, the staff were fucking nuts. The staff's talking away to him. Oh, yeah, this and this and that. Handing him stuff. His shit's getting thrown. Boom. Hey. All right. This guy turns around to put his stuff away. Lo and behold, he has nothing. Again. He was already told, you got nothing coming here. Nothing. Well, what he decided to do is he decided to throw a fuck. Those of you that have been in YA know. Those of you that haven't, let me explain what a fuck is. When someone wants to find out what somebody did or who did it, they threw a fuck, right? They'll say, hey, whoever took my fucking package, fuck your dead homies and fuck your dead family. Now, when people threw fucks, it was mandatory that whoever did it jump up and handle that business, right? This dude, being that he was a leva, nothing he said was relevant. The people that were involved in it are going to do with him what they want. He doesn't get that respect that someone who's not leva would get for throwing a fuck, right? So he throws a fuck, and Vatos is laughing at him. Sit your stupid ass down. You know you're hungry. Just sit your hungry ass on your bunk. Oh, dick rider. Literally, right? The next day, there was a movement to the pool. So it was decided, because he signed up, and the homie was like, oh, that fool signed up, eh? He want to be throwing fucks? Fuck him, right? So I was on the pool movement. There was I think they take 20. I think it was 20 they can take. So we went, and sure enough, R dives in the pool. So boom, we all dove in. We had a plan. And he's, running around, paddling around, whatever, swimming around. And then he fucked up. He did what we are all waiting for him to do. He went under. When he went under, boy, you never seen Mexicans swim so motherfucking fast in your life, I promise you. I had one job. My one assignment was to stay above water and swim over him. It was about 5 homies that went under. They were grabbing him by his legs. One grabbed him by the legs. I remember who it was. And the other 4 start, you can't really hit hard. I think I might have even told the story before. They're punching him in his back, his face, his stomach, his rib. They're trying to push the water out of him. I'm swimming over him. So when he's trying to go up, I put my feet on his shoulders. He's not going nowhere, right? So I'm like kind of squatted in the water. They have him, they're holding him. And I'm looking around. I'm looking down at him, paddling forward, back, whatever I got to do to stay above him. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the Huda and make sure the Huda was a crazy, crazy Mary. Anybody that was there at that time knows who Crazy Mary was. She smelled like mothballs that somebody shit on. It's horrible. Always stunk like, I think she was dead. I think she was a zombie, eh? Keeping it real. She was a walker. But we were the plan, supposedly we were going to smoke this dude, right? So I'm looking over towards the Huda, and I look back and I'm like, hold up, why is the homie drying off? Oh, hold up. I look under the water. I'm the only one still trying to smoke the guy, right? And she's like, hey, what's going on over there? And I was like, swimming is going on. So I fucking get away. I'm out of there. This dude comes up, coughing, all Baywatch style, water comes out, all that crazy fucking shit, right? But this was real. He's holding on to the side, and we're talking shit to me. Fucking pussy. You're lucky we didn't get you. He gets out of the pool, and for whatever reason, out of everybody that got on him, there was one homie from the Black Angels that this dude R is engaging in verbally, right? Fuck you, motherfucker, this and that. And the homie's like, shut your punk ass, because he's not supposed to be allowed to talk, right? Well, the homie is talking shit to him and then turned his head, right? When he turned his head, R dove in the water. His motherfucker dove like he was gonna, like he dove in like ready, like it was cocked back. So he's thinking he's gonna crack him as soon as he hits the water. But I'm looking now. We had been in the pool we've probably been in there like 40 minutes already. The water's cold. Our hands are cold. And anybody who's fucking had cold hands, you know what time it is when you have to punch somebody. Man, I cracked him. Boom! When he dove in, it just like he dove into the punch. Bam! It rocked him. Not like I'm some bad motherfucker, but it rocked him. He dove into a punch, right? He kind of like slid over. I knew it was a bone. It was like back here, right here. My hand was busted. I broke my hand. Shoved it right back in the water. That fool got out of the pool. He had nothing more to say. He had a knot on his head probably, but nothing more to say. But I'm going to tell you, this is the weird ending. This individual knew as long as he was on that dorm, anything, canteen, packages, anything. If you try to buy any food, like anything he got wasn't his. He bought it for somebody else on that dorm. Thank you very much. So we're all watching to see how is this dude going to react. The weird ending is this. We don't know how. I'm guessing he did it to himself because you really didn't hear too much about snitching over there. Oh, by the way, he did give me up though. At one point, when I socked him, he told the Judas that I had hit him. He said that people were stealing all his shit, and the Judas, they don't give a fuck. They're like, hey, don't be punching on people. I think I went to the box for like 24 hours. Don't be punching on people. Shut up, fool. I punch on you. And next thing you know, it's probably been 2 weeks maybe since we tried to drown him. And he's in the dorm at night, EPs like the rest of the fuck ups, right? Why he kept getting EPs, I don't know what he was doing. But the same Jura that issued him his package was like, hey, open your locker. And R was like, nah, I'm not going to open my locker. For what? And he said, open your locker. Now, the Judas have the combination to every single lock. They just got to go in the office and pull the box. And he's like, open your locker. So R opens his locker. And he tells him, sit on the end of your bunk. And so we're looking like, what's this about? He don't have nothing in his, like, we made sure he don't have nothing in his locker. Oh, yeah, but he did. The Jura pulled out an item that was wrapped in a ripped towel. Probably about this big. This motherfucker got his hands on a bone crusher. He went to the box that day, wound up getting transferred to another unit. And the Judas told me that he told them that he was going to stab me with that big motherfucker. That motherfucking punk. But anyways, he wound up going from our unit, Los Osos West, to Cayucas. And he didn't fare any better there. If I remember right, I think they hit him with razors. Like right after he got there. They weren't playing with it over there. They were like, nah, get this motherfucker out of here. He's a punk and a rat. He got to go. Anyways, I got to get this video out to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.